It's explosion, sexism, and sweaty man rage.
That's my helicopter.
I love it. That's a good intro.
Are you being mysterious with those glasses?
Oh yeah, I'm always mysterious.
We need that helicopter.
Look at the purse I bought my best friend.
Oh, it's popping off.
Yeah, she likes to wear fun clothes.
Okay, cool. Welcome to the Two Older Pure Gold Movie Podcast. In today's episode, we're discussing the possibly forgotten 1983 action movie Blue Thunder. The format of our podcast, Two Gen Xers, rewatch beloved movies from our youth to find out, are they really as good as we remember? To help us debate and ultimately pass judgment, we ask our millennial co-hosts to watch these movies for the first time and help us determine, are they too old or pure gold? I'm your host, Olen Vanderleeden, representing Gen X. Joining me today is my Gen X co-pilot, Matthew Stockton.
Hello, everybody.
Representing the millennials, we have regular co-host Anthony.
Hey, guys.
And we also have techno action funk expert Clef Seeley joining us.
Woo!
Before we get into this episode, just a reminder that the only way we can grow this podcast is with support from our listeners. So please follow us on social media and recommend us to a friend to help us build our audience. Today's movie is the 1983 action movie Blue Thunder. Blue Thunder stars Roy Schneider. You millennials probably recognize Roy as the sheriff from Jaws, but he was a regular A-list actor in the 80s. The movie is directed by John Badham. Badham is known for Saturday Night Fever before this movie, and he went on to direct movies like War Games and Short Circuit after this. So some good 80s titles there. The tagline from this movie poster is possibly the longest one we've ever had. Are you ready for this? He's out there is probably what they wanted people to remember, but the full movie poster text is, he's out there flying the most lethal weapon ever made, the Blue Thunder Special. At his fingertips, an infrared camera that can see right through the bedroom walls, a microphone that can record your most intimate conversations, and a 20mm electric cannon with 6 barrels that can turn your neighborhood into a raging inferno. But he's not headed for a war-torn country. He'll be cruising the skies of America, and only one man can stop him from using it on you. Catchy tagline? It's memorable, right?
I wonder what size font they had to use to get that on the poster.
Jeez Louise.
It was small. But IMDb's description is mercifully short. The cop, test pilot for an experimental police helicopter, learns the sinister implications of the new vehicle.
That's better.
Nice and tight.
Smooth.
Now, for those of you that have not seen the movie, I asked my 93-year-old dad to watch Blue Thunder and summarize the plot. Hopefully in fewer words than the movie poster.
Blue Thunder is a high-tech experimental attack helicopter, which is being considered by the Los Angeles Police Department for crowd control. Frank Murphy is a Vietnam veteran suffering from PTSD. He is a seasoned helicopter pilot serving the Los Angeles Police Force. Now, after a routine flight in an ordinary service helicopter, Frank and his newly assigned co-pilot Richard are temporarily suspended for unprofessional behavior, such as voyeurism, but the suspension is quickly forgotten, and Frank is asked to attend a demonstration of the Blue Thunder helicopter. After the demo, Frank and his new co-pilot Richard are ordered to perform a thorough flight test and to put the helicopter through its paces. Unfortunately, Frank's nemesis and former military commander, Colonel Cochran, takes to the air at the same time that Frank does, trying to cause trouble. In the process, we are seeing some pretty exciting stunts, since both of them are flying sometimes side by side on under bridges and around corners of buildings. It turns out that the colonel is involved in a conspiracy to overthrow the government. Now this leads to a big battle in which Frank destroys Blue Thunder. But he himself walks away unscathed, and that's the end.
Okay, so Matthew, I know you're locked and loaded with your review of this movie. What did you think?
Honestly, I thought, you know what? Helicopters, the dude from Jaws, how bad can it be? Right? And it turns out it could be very bad. It's oh God. It's not even like it's barely a step above Knight Rider.
Oh, how dare you! How dare you!
Been waiting a long time to use that, eh, Matthew?
Yeah. It's like
You did that on purpose. That was a shot.
It's this movie was almost unwatchable.
Okay, well, Matthew, this is 1983 and Knight Rider came out in 1982. So who inspired who, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if it's unwatchable. Okay, what did you guys think?
This helicopter definitely should have been able to talk. That would have been that would have been a very different movie. And yeah, I don't know. I thought to myself, the line I came up with while I was watching was, "What the helicopter?" I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a fun joke at times, but then at other times I thought, okay, really? Like, oh, okay, really? I watched it to the end. I don't know what that means.
Dedication.
Yeah. Dedication to the craft of podcasting.
Anthony, you're not known for being patient with slow movies. What did you think of this one?
I was expecting to not like it. The first 20 to 30 minutes I hated, and I was expecting the whole movie to get like that, and then somehow I kind of came around the last hour. I don't know if I liked it, but I didn't hate it as much as I thought I was going to hate it.
Oh, wow. Great review. Well, I dug this movie up on purpose because I do remember this in the day as being so cool. Like police with an attack helicopter, somehow a whisper mode in particular stuck in my brain.
Whisper mode.
And Matthew, I hate to tell you, but I was really hoping for Knight Rider in the Sky, but it wasn't that good. Clef, you're absolutely right. It should have had been talking, and it should have had like an awkward old British butler voice, right? That would have been perfect.
Yep.
But still,
Yeah.
I gotta say, there's something engaging about Roy Schneider.
Yes.
Like, he's such a cool, brooding actor, and the helicopter was pretty cool, and the flying scenes were pretty cool for me. So the story was weak, but there was enough there that it was entertaining for me.
Yeah, I got massive Rambo vibes. I got this sort of like, that's kind of what I was expecting, was that he was going to go crazy at the end. I thought that there was going to be like a sort of a heel flip, but instead all of the killing that he did was actually just collateral damage. So that's a happy ending.
So much collateral damage in this.
And I mean, the movie did promise that right away. I mean, in the test, we saw that collateral damage was going to be a factor.
Yeah. Well, I guess there's a couple of big glaring issues we need to talk about here. The first one is the idea of arming a police helicopter with 20 millimeter cannons.
Awesome.
Like,
It is LA, but
I mean, that would control the crowds. That's true.
Yes.
Secondly, when they're doing the test run, and first of all, they said, one civilian dead for every 10 terrorists is acceptable losses. Well, that's questionable, but I think at that scene, it looked like they destroyed every white, it looked like they blew everybody up.
yeah, I want to touch on that later in my dislikes.
All the children.
My husband was laughing that all the good people were painted white.
I liked how they had to explain it to you, and he's like whispering to him, "All the reds are the terrorists." Thanks.
I got that too. That was hilarious.
Yes.
Okay, so my point was going to be, after that demonstration, quote unquote, why did they still put this thing even into a demonstration program? And then the other obvious big problem is, why are you firing missiles from a jet in the downtown LA corridor?
Buildings.
I mean, did anyone think maybe there's a chance what happens if you miss? Or what happens if you hit him and it falls into a food truck or something? Like,
Yeah, they weren't planning ahead there. They just wanted it to stop.
And then he shot down an F-16 fighter pilot with a helicopter. That's not.
There was quite a range of weapons. There's guys with just looked like hunting rifles trying to take down a militarized attack helicopter. And then there's other times when he uses a Gatling gun to just slow down a cop car, cut it in half.
That's what I'm saying. And the final boss fight was still between two helicopters.
And the one looked so much worse.
It was so much worse.
Yeah. It looked like just a cheap, low-end, passenger helicopter that they stuck two cannons on.
And they painted it camo.
They painted it camo, yeah. That was good. Okay, well, back up a little bit because we got right into it. I want to know, did any of you know about this movie before?
No.
I didn't even know Roy Schneider did other movies besides Jaws.
Yeah, he did. And next question, is the helicopter cool?
Yes.
The helicopter
For the times,
itself, for the time especially, was kind of cool.
Well, I looked it up. So infrared imaging, directional microphone, zoom cameras, whisper mode, targeting system, Gatling gun. So I looked it up, and apparently whisper mode and the directional microphones were fictional in the day, but all of that stuff exists today. So it's all possible today. Okay, here's my next question. So this guy has serious PTSD to the point where he's passing out while flying a helicopter.
Yeah, within the first 10 minutes.
And then he crashes a helicopter. They didn't do an investigation to know that he was sabotaged. All they know is that he went down in a helicopter. Why is he still flying?
He's Roy damn Schneider.
They don't have any other pilots?
He took
Don't want to sub him out?
He took Blue Thunder for a test run, and then he took it rogue, and then he just brought it back like it wasn't that big a deal. And they were like, "You're on thin ice, buddy." and then he took it out again, and then there was chaos.
Total chaos. He was very rogue. I'm not sure that I would have confidence in him as the
He
police
was a loose cannon.
Yeah.
By the way, if you guys hear weird rumbling sounds, it's the sound checks for Snoop Dogg next door.
That's pretty cool.
Sorry.
That is cool.
Is a helicopter, I just don't understand why. Is he a cop? Is he a pilot? He's both, but he's going deeper into the investigation. He's in the air, and he's like, there's something deeper going on with this mugging. There's something. This is a stakeout.
Yeah, the guy in the red hat. It's like, don't you think the guy on the ground would be better at figuring?
Wouldn't you think?
Out? Yeah, I thought that was problematic as well.
They just kind of glossed over his whole resume, and he's just this guy training everyone how to. I don't know.
Oh
That's right.
God, and the sort of the 80s sort of this dude seen shit. We're just gonna say he has Vietnam flashbacks, and then we don't have to give him any more character development, right? It's like, oh yeah, he's a vet, so it's like, okay, we've put that in the little box. Now he doesn't actually have to act, right?
Yeah.
And Roy Scheider's like, he's a good actor, but I don't think he was given much to work with on this one, to be honest.
Well, this is the same premise as Firefox, in a way. Firefox.
In a way.
He had
Well,
PTSD.
Justin, when I said we're going to watch this, Justin was like, didn't you see this one already? And I'm like, no, that was Firefox. He's like, wow, Olen has bad taste in movies.
Whoa, Justin, come on.
Yeah, it's a household, it's now a household belief, Olen.
Oh my God.
Harsh.
Okay, so I also wondered a little bit about the use of police helicopters. I'm not really sure you should be shooting people from the sky. Aren't they just used for spotting cars from the sky and that kind of stuff?
And titties.
Well,
This Lyman Good character.
Titties.
Yeah, this Lyman Good. He's the rookie, and he's calling the shots. He's saying, hey, I heard about this spot where there's... Oh, it's coming up on 10:30. We better fly 80 feet within this woman.
Her naked tantric yoga.
Her naked tantric.
Yeah.
so this is really weird. What I didn't understand is that, they're flying there, as many times as they can.
Yeah,
It was like an episode of Big Mouth or something.
that's right.
Right? It was so juvenile. It's like, what, two grown-ass men watching a woman do
In the
naked
middle of an
stuff?
investigation.
Do they like jerk off together or something? Like
They
what
just
goes
met.
on?
Jerk each other off, Matthew.
I know they just met. They're
That's
straight
not a
dudes.
joystick.
Do straight dudes like get in helicopters and like jerk off in it while they like watch a woman pretending they're not gay?
The poor guy that has to service that helicopter every time, right? Like, what is all over this windshield?
Unknown fluid leaks.
Like, that was just weird and gross. I'm sorry. That was just. Ugh.
And the co-pilot was a total pervert because remember when he got Blue Thunder and he used those awesome zoom cameras to zoom in on a hooker's titties?
Yeah.
Total sex worker. Total perv.
Guys were
He was
hilarious.
ill-fated from the beginning. Lyman good.
Yeah, his co-pilot was totally a pervert. Okay, do you think this is the best helicopter-based movie of all times?
I have that in my notes. I was going to ask you, is these like the best helicopter chase scenes in history?
Yeah, name 5 helicopter movies. Go.
Black Hawk Down,
Platoon.
Firebirds, which I don't remember, but I have to look it up because it's described as the helicopter Top Gun starring Nick Cage.
That sounds great.
Isn't Platoon sort of helicopter-esque?
Yep. Miss Saigon, Apocalypse Now, Cliffhanger.
Oh yeah.
Cliffhanger was great.
Did you guys ever see the musical Miss Saigon when they land a helicopter on the stage and
Yep.
they have like wind hitting the audience? It's really cool.
I did. I still like Blue Thunder better. Okay, the whole watch thing. Have you guys seen the Equalizer movie and the way he uses his watch, timing things out? I wondered if they got that from this movie because I kind of thought his watch was cool.
Do you remember those Timexes? Do you remember the Casio? Do you remember that watch?
I
Justin
do.
Justin's like, I had one of those. I'm like, did you do your PTSD?
I have that under best parts, Murphy's Casio watch, and Matthew, I ordered it for you off eBay, and I'll give it to you when I get my Wilford Brimley T-shirt.
You know what? I had that folded to give to you last time you came over for a party, and I just rehung it because I'm like, I'm not going to see him for a while. So it's hanging gently in the closet, just so you know.
Awesome. I'm wearing your watch, and I'll get it to you when I see you. Okay, helicopter pilot. Do you think it's the coolest job ever?
It's up there.
Unintended pun.
Okay, Clef, would you rather work on the Red October or Blue Thunder?
I mean, if I have to go by color alone, I'd say Blue Thunder. Speaking of which, is thunder a sound or a color? Because it seems to me like they couldn't decide. Sorry, what was the question?
Wow. You asked the tough questions. I said, would you rather work on Red October or Blue Thunder if you had to pick one job?
Well, they both seem kind of claustrophobic to me, but in some ways, I guess with the helicopter, you get a little bit more up and down, and you get side to side, and a little less sunk, and
But why was it called Blue Thunder? It was black, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't.
No, I think it was blue. It was a dark blue. It was thunder blue.
Navy Thunder.
Okay, continuing on the job theme. Anthony, would you rather be the bartender from Cocktail or the Blue Thunder cop pilot?
Ooh, probably the bartender.
Okay, and one last one. Matthew, would you rather be a Russian ballerina or a helicopter cop?
Russian ballerina. I tried flying once and I hated it. Russian ballerina, 100%.
I love flying in helicopters. Okay.
Oh, flying is fine, but when I'm doing it, but trust me, you don't want me flying stuff. I've learned that.
Oh, I don't want you driving stuff either. I don't want you around moving machinery, Matthew. I want you just sitting there behind the microphone looking pretty.
I was born to be driven around, not to drive.
Yeah, you were born to have a
Unfortunately,
chauffeur.
Passenger princess.
I didn't.
Okay,
Unfortunately, I didn't. My lifestyle doesn't allow that.
last question before we get to my long list of best parts. What do you guys think happened the next day? Is he in jail for destroying government property?
Definitely some sort of espionage charge.
And why did he not worry about, again, collateral damage? Like, dropping that on that train tracks was a power move. Like, aren't you going to kill someone on the train?
There was nobody worried about civilians at all in this movie.
I thought he was trying to do that to like sneak into the night and like pretend like he's dead.
Yeah,
and
I thought
disappear.
I thought he faked his death at the end.
Oh.
That's what I thought.
Oh, maybe he fakes his death and then goes to the tantric woman.
That's what I thought. That
Gets in
he
deep.
basically decided, yeah, no, I don't want to be a part of the police state. I don't want to have to wield this power, and so he destroys it, and then he like walks the earth or whatever.
Oh, that's good. I did not get that
Walks
out of
the
it, but
earth.
that's better than what I
Yeah.
saw. But even then, are they to believe that he's such a bad pilot that he put it down on the train tracks by accident?
Well, I mean, I don't think it matters if he's dead, right?
Could have ran out of
Okay.
fuel. He was up there a while.
There's lots of fun stuff in this movie. I want to talk about the best parts. So first of all, I think the helicopter, Blue Thunder, I think it's a cool name. I think it's a cool helicopter and a cool concept. So they had a good start there,
Yep.
right? Cutting a cop car in half with bullets.
Very fun. Very
Awesome.
fun.
We mentioned this, but Murphy's Casio watch, so cool. Oh, Matthew, I love the sergeant, Warren Oates, and this was his last movie. He died right after they filmed this. He was a great captain.
Yeah.
Warren Oates.
Yeah, just
And
that
and
just that right balance of angry but still supporting his guys.
was he related to Hall and Oates?
Probably. I should look that up. Clef, what'd you think of the 80s synth music?
I was
in this?
gonna say that the soundtrack to this movie was awesome. I thought that like it was so well. It was like a space odyssey. It really had this like it captured a lot of like the film noir stuff. There was a lot of like really cool transitional stuff, like through composition to actual action. I thought that was cool. I thought it was great. It was one of my high points of the movie.
Yeah, agreed. Other things I liked, I mean, the flying scenes were pretty good. Flying under a bridge, pretty cool. And by the way, they did all of these stunts. Like apparently it's quite technically challenging to do all of
Did
this.
they do the 360 flip?
I've got trivia on that.
Okay.
The first actual barrel roll done in a helicopter was done in 2019 for Red Bull. So it had never been done at that time, but it has been done now. Pretty cool, eh?
They're ahead of their time on a lot of things.
It's a low percentage move. I also had a small thing, 70-year-old security guard braining the bad guy. It's just this little tiny old man, and he's just, hey, hands off, and he clobbers him and knocks him right out with the butt of his gun. I thought that guy was great.
That's a real 80s move, the
Yes.
pistol whip. You don't see that
The
anymore.
pistol whip, totally, but it's not usually the old elderly guard that's doing it.
I think one of my favorite scenes was when the cops pulled over the girlfriend or whatever when she was fleeing, and then they got her they're trying to get her out of the car, and then all of a sudden the Blue Thunder just rises up.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool.
That was a pretty sick scene.
I mean, that and when they were doing the demonstration when it comes flying out of the desert with the sun behind it, both of those were pretty cool scenes.
Cool shots.
And obviously the chase scenes and in general, I thought were really well done.
Good use
Yeah,
of LA
the
for
helicopter.
sure.
Yeah. Well, any other good parts you want to highlight?
When he's like when he goes.
Matthew, don't say when it ends. I see you thinking. Go, Clef.
Oh, I was gonna say the shot when he drives up the hill and then like he's at his house and he sits and he looks over and he sees like the LA skyline. I thought that was a nice shot. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. The shots, like the aerial stuff, the helicopters chasing each other. Some of the cinematography was really good, but that's the only thing I'm gonna give this movie.
Okay. Well, worst parts, I have spraying bullets in downtown LA. I think it's a low percentage move shooting your friends in helicopters.
Usually.
That's true.
An F-16 firing missiles into a chicken factory.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they blew
Not
up the
good.
barbecue place.
Still, it made me hungry when I saw that scene.
And-
I'll
rain
tell you
chicken.
some fun trivia about that scene. So for that scene, they used actual chicken because they said chicken was cheaper than fake chicken. And the homeless people helped them clean it up by taking all the chicken and eating it.
I like that.
That's
That's
dark.
super dark. Like
It's dark.
it
but
was raining
Food,
chicken.
boys.
I read it on the internet, so it has to be true, Matthew. Worst parts, acceptable losses of 1 in 10, which I actually think were 10 in 10.
Yeah, it was like a 1-to-1 ratio for sure.
The Vietnam flashbacks are just such a bad trope, and they have them look like they're filmed in a high school gym with a fog machine.
It's so bad.
The Lyman Good character was basically unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
my biggest problem with this movie, which I guess it's a continuity error when something happens in a scene before and then it doesn't continue or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I found so many continuity errors in this movie. There was one scene where Lyman was running down the street when he had his hands zip tied behind his back, and then he ran into the biker, and then you literally see him put his hands out to catch himself, and then the next scene it was brutal. Then the scene where the congresswoman got killed. Yeah, the congresswoman got killed. She gets blindsided by the guys, and somehow she's able to make a call for a rape in progress. And then there was a few just really bad scenes that I hate that. It just takes away from the...
And when that congresswoman or whatever the hell she was, she's like running into her backyard going, "Stop shooting," and gets one in the neck. It's like, if there's a shootout in your backyard, are you going to run back there?
Yeah, it was...
Right?
It was a strange depiction of a councilwoman. An anti-helicopter councilwoman.
I would have rolled under my car and waited for everyone to leave.
You would think.
And I'm just looking at my notes here, and another part I had in worst part is after the helicopter crashed, like the two of them went down in the helicopter in Watts. The workers helped them out of the helicopter and then yell at them, "Get the hell out of here!"
Yeah.
Like, that's not very kind to somebody that just crashed on your work site. How about, are you okay?
Back then in Watts, though, like you didn't want to be a white dude in Watts back then.
Get the hell out of here. There were lots of white people in that scene, though. All the construction workers.
That's true.
They depicted all of the black people as unemployed, selling drugs on the street. All the white people were working.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Justin was like when they used the word Negro.
Oh, that's right. On the dispatch.
He was like, "Oh,
Negro with a cowboy hat."
I'm like, that's the word that was used. If you listen to even the great speech, I Have a Dream speech, right? It was a word. It's so funny how the words change, like how it's like over time that was a respectable word,
yeah,
right?
that was
And then
nice
over time it's like it's not anymore. You know what I mean? It's really interesting how that changes. It's like and it happens all the time, right? Words change. That's fascinating. But Justin's just like, "Oh God." I'm like, well, it's the time, Juice.
Okay, favorite line. I liked, "You're supposed to be stupid, son. Don't ruin that privilege."
Yeah, I had that one.
Yeah.
Okay, what else you got?
I had when they introduced Blue Thunder, "She don't look normal, she don't fly normal, 'cause she ain't normal."
You know what? The only memorable line is sort of the lack of memorable lines for me. Like every single one sounded like it was written by a committee of guys who like love Reagan and hate nuance.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Well, even the tagline from the movie, like, do you have to basically put the script in the tagline?
When the tagline for the movie is like really describing it so you understand what's going on, it's going to be an issue.
It's like
right? It's like the Coles notes.
It's like
right?
it's like Homeland Security.
Like calling out the features of the helicopter in the tagline in case we all miss the fact that the movie's about a helicopter and that it's got cannons on it, right?
This movie was propaganda with a joystick.
So well put. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of joystick, the other line I wrote down, "I dig police work." Yeah, you're breathing heavy.
Mouth breather.
Okay, well, if you guys don't have anything else, let's figure out how well this did.
Oh.
Do you think it did well at all?
No.
Probably not.
Okay, well, according to Box Office Mojo Worldwide, Blue Thunder was the 17th highest earning movie at the box office in 1983.
Wow.
It only had 2 weeks in the box office before Return of the Jedi came out, and Return of the Jedi was obviously the box office leader that year. Blue Thunder was beat by Scarface and Staying Alive, as well as movies we've done, War Games and Trading Places. Blue Thunder did beat some respectable movies, though, like it beat Porky's 2 the next day. It also beat The Outsiders and Right Stuff, and The Right Stuff, if that gives you any perspective, Matthew. Gandhi was the Best Picture winner this year, and I'd rather watch Blue Thunder. And Blue Thunder only got one Oscar nomination, and that was for editing.
Wow, that's shocking.
So the budget for this movie, it seems a little high. It was $22 million. It must have all gone into the helicopter stunts and helicopter fuel. But what do you think it did at the box office if it was 22 to make it?
18.
I say 37.
I'm gonna say it's higher. I feel like it was like 70. Let's say 70 million.
Anthony, you basically nailed it. It's 42 million. So
Wow,
it
people
doubled
actually
its money. So it wasn't a complete loss.
No.
Olen,
I'd never, ever heard of
was this out after or before Jaws?
After.
Okay.
In
Jaws
fact,
was the 70s.
Roy Schneider claims that he took this role so that he would be unavailable for Jaws 3.
Smart.
Because he actually hated the Jaws franchise and he didn't want to do more, and he got sucked into 2 because they offered him so much money. He said, I'm not doing it this time. I'm going to just be unavailable. So that's the rumor.
You know what? I'm sorry, but if you're an actor and there's a movie that made you rich and made you famous, how dare you diss it?
I agree.
Right? Like, the ego in that's ridiculous. And frankly, Jaws 3 is a hell of a lot better than this movie.
Jaws 3 is good. I'll give you that. Although I prefer Jaws 4 in the Bahamas, if I'm being honest. Okay, Rotten Tomatoes. It's going to be interesting to see what you think critics thought of this movie and what you think audience thought of this movie.
30 critics, 40 audience.
I say 45 critics, 65 audience.
I'm gonna say 40 critics, and I'm gonna say 66 audience.
Okay.
Okay, I need a second to add this up because you guys are way off. Critics, 78.
Whoa!
Matthew, 78% of critics said get out and see this film.
No.
And
Did you look up the wrong website or
nope,
something?
I did not. And audience was 53.
Oh.
So critics like this movie much more than the audience. And it looks like, Matthew, you're a disaster on this one. Clef, you are a disaster on this. You're all disasters. I'm not even going to add these up. The numbers are too big. The problem was the critics. I knew this one was going to get you guys because
That's shocking.
critics liked this movie. Okay, let's talk trivia.
I want some trivia. Clef, is that a George Brock painting behind you?
No, this is Peter. Peter painted
That's
that.
a Vanderleeden.
It's a Peter V.
Oh, cool. It's very George Brock. Awesome.
Yeah, Peter's a great artist. He has like phases.
Yeah, I thought that was like an original Brock, and I was going to say, Clef, marry me. Because you have money, dude.
Okay, during the filming, where Cochrane ambushes Blue Thunder at the incomplete skyscraper, they had an engine failure and actually had to do that auto-rotate landing move in a parking lot. Yep.
Cool.
That auto-rotate is where you use
that thing.
the propeller to try to slow you down at the last second so you don't just explode. So they actually had to do that. Malcolm McDowell actually hated flying. During the battle scene, McDowell's grimaces were genuine.
Oh, shit.
Roy Schneider actually did some of the flying and was allowed to do all of the takeoff and landing himself.
Wow.
Cool.
The nude lady doing yoga, they filmed that twice. The second time with clothes on for the TV version.
It was pretty risque. I saw a little bit of outer labia there, I think.
It's a better labia.
This is the name of Matthew's band in high school. A little bit of outer labia.
that would be actually a really good name for a punk band, wouldn't it?
It would. The F-16 models were built by the same guys that did Star Wars. They called it the Astro Division because the LAPD did not want to be named in the film. Funny. And Malcolm McDowell said years later that this was his favorite film that he acted in.
Poor Malcolm.
And Woker joke. I don't want to lead the witness, but I have helicopter peeping.
Peeping. Yeah, it's
That good old fashioned Reagan racism.
It's women are props. Mental health is weaponized. Privacy and it's not. It's
80s.
It's explosion, sexism, and sweaty man rage. This is like, you're right, pure 80s, right?
So however you guys felt about this movie, I promise you there's people who liked it more and even less than you. And for this movie, there were 18 10-star reviews out of 114 total reviews. So 20% of them gave it 10 stars. And here's a few thoughts.
People will never cease to fascinate me.
This movie was so good, I saw it in the theater twice. I was 19 at the time and in the Navy. I was dating a hot chick who had a Firebird like Rockford. I watched the film and was so blown away, I decided to see it again with her.
Guys in the Navy don't date girls. What are you talking about?
In the Navy.
This person says, best helicopter movie ever. After learning to fly copters, you realize how hard it is to pull off some of the maneuvers in the movie. It must have taken many takes and many gallons of gas to get that footage.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a helicopter driver, then like you'd appreciate the stunts.
Almost 25 years after its release, this movie still packs a powerful punch, especially when it comes to the misuse of government property, abuse of government power, and the possibility of terrorism in our own country.
You're going to get these helicopters.
Got 1,000 of these, you could run the damn country.
Yeah.
And this last review was titled Best Movie of All Time. I truly love this movie, probably because I wanted to be a helicopter pilot my whole life. Roy Schneider is amazing. The helicopter is badass and looks menacing, and the scenes are incredible. Like fine wine, it gets better with age.
Just because you failed at becoming a helicopter pilot does not make this the best movie of all time.
I watch it on my birthday every year.
That's sad.
Oh, you're sad.
Happy birthday.
And
By the
and remember, I could have been a champ.
By the way, I didn't tell you guys, but I actually watched this movie twice for the podcast.
Olen.
I know.
I
I didn't pick up some of the nuances the first time, so I had to.
There are no nuances.
Did you like it more the second
Turns
time?
out I watched it to find them, and I didn't find them second time.
I worry about you.
Okay, so this is Matthew. I love when you hate a movie to see how others thought of it, right? Like the critics actually like this. So now we hear from people who liked it less. And for only the second time in Too Old or Pure Gold history, there were no 1-star reviews. So I had to go to the 2-star reviews to hear from the haters. The worst review it had was 2 stars. So 2 of those. Interesting premise and good cast are wasted in this cliche picture that becomes alarmingly ridiculous, right down to the preposterous showdown between Murphy and Cochran, which takes viewers out of the picture altogether.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one says, I loved this movie when it came out. I loved renting it on VHS. Upon reviewing, though, it's absurdly plotted, tedious, and incredibly sexist to the point where it's painful to watch. All you need to do is watch the first 10 minutes of our lovable protagonists flying around, peeping from helicopters on women getting undressed in high-rises to know at least part of what you're in for. Siskel and Ebert. Matthew, you think there's any hope?
I would like to give it a 1-star review, and I'm going to tell you what I would write. I went in expecting Airwolf meets ethics. I got surveillance creep with a rotor rage.
That should be a new segment.
Yeah. What we would write.
Okay, Siskel and Ebert. Let's hear from the professionals. So Ebert actually said that Firefox was much more visually engaging than this film. He mocked the idea of the police destroying 2 skyscrapers. By the way, I have to note that Roy Schneider didn't like that either. He objected to the ending, and he said my character would have actually lured this guy out into the desert for the final fight. He wouldn't have done it in the city.
Yeah.
But he was shot down, pardon the pun. Okay, so that's Ebert, didn't like it. Siskel says it's a rousing action film. He said it's a perfect summertime action movie, and as usual, mocked Ebert for being too uptight. Siskel thumbs up, Ebert thumbs down.
I'm with Ebert on this one.
Okay, Matthew, does this movie deserve a remake, prequel, or sequel?
It actually, you could do this movie right. You could do this movie right. You could, because it's high octane, high energy. Could be a lot of fun. I think some more depth of character. Yeah, I think I'd like to see it completely remade. And so it's a good movie, and I'd totally watch it because it's, who like helicopters blowing shit up. It's fun, right?
Yeah, it is fun. I think if they remade it, they have to not make it for crowd control in the city. It needs to have a It needs to have a more noble mission. Well, I got a few things to say about remake. So first of all, it's rumored that Christopher Nolan is making a Blue Thunder inspired movie starring Tom Holland and Matt Damon.
Wow.
Okay.
Also, Sony was planning to make a drone version of the movie.
Meh.
But like little handheld drones, like
Yeah, like,
Bunch of nerds fighting in their rooms.
and here's the most fascinating part. So in 1984, so the year after this came out, they made a TV series out of this, and it ran for 11 episodes, and it starred Dana Carvey.
they should have called this movie Blue Angel because it's a fart that's been lit on fire.
That's Matthew, you're on fire today.
Do you remember doing Blue Angels when you were like young kid?
Yes, when I was
Still
young.
do them now. What are you talking about?
Watch this, guys! Hey, watch this, guys!
Matthew, did you ever wonder why I carry a lighter and I don't smoke?
I thought you just like lighting candles.
Okay. Well, I love when I make Matthew
I
laugh.
haven't thought of Blue Angels since the 80s.
Sure.
So funny.
Well, some of us wish you would light them off.
I think this movie would be a good remake if you like incorporated like ChatGPT into it. Maybe it took over itself and then you had to fight it.
Yeah, and Clef was right at the start when he said it needs a voice. Like, it needs that British butler, like, oh, sir, jolly
It never
good.
crossed my mind, but now that's quite obvious to me that would have supremely improved this movie.
This is an inspiration. I have to ask you, Matthew, do you remember the TV show Airwolf, which ran 4 seasons starting in 1984?
No, I remember the name. I can't remember seeing it.
It's basically this. They took this premise, they changed the setting to military, and I mean, it got 4 seasons, so that tells you it had something to it.
Okay.
Okay, well, that was fun. Interesting response from everybody on this, and I was blown away by the critic score on this movie. Honestly, I remember this movie as being cool, and when I picked the title, it's because I thought, why does nobody know this? Why is it never shown? Why don't people talk about this movie? Because people love old movies. I guess because it was a piece of shit. I don't know.
Yeah, now you know why.
But I remembered it as being cool, and I wanted to find out if it was, if it actually was, and turns out it's not. But I still say whisper mode is cool in a helicopter.
Yeah, and it's one of these things like most movies that you liked when you were still having nocturnal emissions probably aren't good anymore.
Or you just remember them with a little more bliss.
Blind Fury held up. Remo Williams held up, right, Clef?
Remo Williams. Oh, I'm getting PTSD.
Okay, guys. Good. It's good to have a few laughs. Thanks for doing this one. I appreciate you getting through it. And should be a fun episode.
So
We're
old.
doing the our ratings.
Yeah, you want to do it old or gold? God, come on. It's the
Thank
name
you
of the
for
show.
reminding me. It is the name to it. Is this movie too old or pure blue gold?
Pure Blue Angel.
Too old.
Old.
It's too old, like Roy Schneider.
There it is. Settled.
Is he still
No,
alive?
he's dead.
He's dead. Killed himself after this film.
Did he? Did he? I should have done Jaws.
No. He did not.
I could have been a contender.
Get your head around this. He hated the Jaws series, but he was proud of this. So
You just act and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, make your millions.
act and shut the fuck up. That's great advice.
No, that's most actors. That's what I truly believe that. It's like you're not a politician. You know, just act and shut the fuck up.
I do too. Yeah, I agree. Okay, thanks, guys.
Good times.
Thank you.
See ya.
See you later.
Bye, bitches.
See ya.